the summer of love.
Alright, what's up everybody, it's Trickstar here, and I am back for another Yu-Gi-Oh! Deck profile. This time we're doing Trickstar Stun, and I've done this deck before, but it's been a really long time since it was one of the first decks I actually did, and it really needs an update. There's been at least one ban list, I think maybe two ban lists since it's come out, or since I did that deck. Yeah, because there was the one in November, and there was the one that just recently hit. So yeah, there's been two ban lists since I did that deck, and I did it poorly for that format anyways, so I'm here to sort of redo it. There are some choices of mine that you might think are questionable, and I understand that, but I like doing my decks a certain way, and this is what I've come up with. I hope you guys enjoy, so let's move on to the first card, and that is Trickstar Candina. It's a 3-up for the deck, and it's basically the Stratos. Whenever it's normal summon, you can add a Trickstar card to your hand from your deck, obviously, and whenever your opponent activates a spell or trap card, you can inflict them for 200 damage, which is really nice. So this basically searches out your win condition, and 1800 attacker isn't that bad. Next up we have 3 Trickstar Narcosis. If your opponent takes effect damage, you can special summon this card from your hand. Each time your opponent activates a monster effect in their hand or graveyard, you can inflict them for 200 damage. So this basically punishes your opponent for playing hand traps, and it can special summon itself whenever, say, your field spell activates or something. So it's really good for that reason, just to get more monsters on the board and more damage to your opponent. Next we have 3 of Trickstar Licorice. It's a quick effect. You can reveal this card in your hand, then target a Trickstar monster you control, special summon this card, and return that monster that you're targeted to the hand. Each time a card is added to your opponent's hand, inflict 200 damage to them for each. So, say Pot of Desires, that'd be 400. Reincarnation, that'd be dependent on how many cards they had in their hand, but typically probably 1,000 to 1,200. 1,000 or 1,200, I mean. If you're activating Reincarnation early or whatever. So yeah, it's really good for burning and getting more damage on the board. 1,600 attack. It's decent for a level. Well, actually, it's pretty good for a level 3, but it's decent as a mini beater, I guess. So yeah. Plus, you can do some really cool combos with Lilybell, which is our next card. It's a 1-of. If this card is added to your hand except by drawing it, you can special summon it. This card can attack directly, and when it inflicts battle damage to your opponent, you can target a Trickstar monster in your graveyard and add it to your hand. It's the only Trickstar in the deck that doesn't do burn. It's sort of recovery. And honestly, this card would be better. I think it'd be interesting to see it too. But since it's searchable, I keep it at 1. Just because it's fine there, and it's not like essential to your strategy or anything like that. Next we have 3 Honest, because everything in your deck most of the stuff that you're going to have on your field is going to be light, so Honest will just give them a boost. The Droll and Lockbird, that goes along with your Reincarnation, which is your win condition. Cherries, this is to keep a grasp on, like, just in case you don't get that win condition that you're looking for. This will at least stop your opponent from making their major plays. So yeah, we run 3 of it, just for consistency or whatever. It does become dead when it's in your hand though, so that can be kind of a problem, but you're just going to have to deal with it. Next we have the 1 driver for our 2 Gammas, which basically negate hand traps, and then you'll be able to summon an Omega, which is really nice. Moving on to our spells, we have 3 Trickstar Light Stage. When this card is activated, you can add a Trickstar monster from your deck to your hand, and then once per turn, you can target a set card in your opponent's spell and trap zone. That set card cannot be activated until the end phase, and your opponent must activate it during the end phase, or else send it to the graveyard. Each time a Trickstar monster you control inflicts battle damage to your opponent, or effect damage, inflict 200 damage to them. So basically, it's even more damage, and that includes for battle and effect. So it's really interesting in that respect. I mean, so yeah, and plus it helps with getting out Narcosis. We have 3 terraforming to search it out because this is also good for searching Candina, which can search Reincarnation. Then we have 2 Pot of Desires to just make sure that you're not bricking as much as possible. 3 Scapegoats, this is for extra power and crazy plays. Raigeki, Book of Moon, and Monster Reborn, all staples that I just like playing in the deck. Book of Moon, sort of for stopping your opponent from doing a Link Summon. Raigeki from controlling overwhelming boards. Monster Reborn for trying to push for a game, I guess. Reincarnation, this is your win condition. It banishes your opponent's hand, and then they draw the same number of cards. And if you use Droll and Lockbird as a chain to this, then they won't be able to draw any of their cards. So they just get left with an empty hand at the start of their turn, which is crazy. Solemn Warning pretty much negates anything. So yeah, really nice. Moving on to our extra deck, we have 2 Omega because we have the Gammas and the Drivers, so this just makes it so that it really punishes your opponent for playing hand traps. Trickstar, Holly Angel, you're gonna make this at the end of your turn after you attack or something, and then whenever a Trickstar is normal or special summon to any of its zones, inflict 200 damage to your opponent. Trickstar monsters this card points to cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects, and if your opponent takes damage by a Trickstar monster effect, this card gains attack equal to the damage they took. So, say whenever a monster is summoned, you'd inflict 200 damage to your opponent, and then this card would gain 200 attack. So it can get really broken really quickly. Also, whenever their effects are activating, this card just can get really high attacks. We have 3 Link Spiders because we run 3 Scapegoats, so you never know when you're going to need to use a Link Spider. Mrs. Radiant for Decode Talker. You can use one of the Link Spiders to make it. Proxy Dragon and Akashik, both for Borreload, and Akashik particularly is a pretty nice card. Decode Talker because it can get high attack points, Borreload because it can steal your opponent's monster, and Firewall for, of course, its insane combos. And then for our Cherries targets, we have ABC. Even though it's not a very prominent deck this format, ABCs are still really scary to go against. So just in case you come across one, you have it to deal with. Plus, there aren't really any none of the other competitors really have like that one extra deck monster that they absolutely need to win. So that's why I have this one in here. Then we have Elektra. This is for Pendulums, obviously, the Pendulum Magicians, because they're a very prominent deck this format. So this will definitely slow them down. And then Double Helix, because Spirals are still capable of competing. They had 3 tops recently, so we have the Double Helix for that. And that's pretty much it for the deck profile. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and if you did, please like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. More Yu-Gi-Oh content and Minecraft Survivors Season 6 coming soon. Once again, thanks for watching. Hope to see you next time, and as always, have a roaring good day.